All right, question should be open. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Jolly good. How are we?
Doing great.
What you got so far?
I don't know. I think we know. I think B. Is it X? No. I think
How would you know B?
it has to be both recessive since the offspring have it.
Well,
Because it's X.
now that I think of it, it could be one.
So
Both.
the B individual isn't colored in.
So then it's
So she's
hetero.
that's a she because it's a circle,
Oh.
and
Is
she's
it
not
hetero?
expressing the trait. So what does that tell you? If she's not expressing a recessive trait, what kind of information does that give you?
She's dominant.
She has at least one dominant allele,
Yeah.
right? Now, can you figure out the other allele? Because she has two X's, right?
Right.
Do we know what her other allele is, though? Don't know anything about her parents, right? Because she's from outside the family, but she does have 4 kids.
I don't think we can know it. I don't think you know.
So these unmarked ones right here, these 2 daughters right there, what are their genotypes have to be?
Well, they both have to be recessive because they have it.
Yep, homozygous recessive, right? Yep. Which means they had to have gotten a recessive allele from dad and one from mom.
Right.
So the mom had to have passed that on to them, right?
Okay. So she's heterozygous.
There you go. Yep.
So we do know that one.
Mm-hmm.
Is there only one answer? Wait,
Yes. Yeah. Only one that we can't figure out.
because I don't know how. If we don't know C, then we don't know A. What about this?
What do you know? What do you know about A just based on what you're given at the pedigree?
They're gonna be this.
How do you know that?
Because it's and he only has the recessive.
Okay.
So, but I don't know about that person. 'Cause
What do you know about her?
that they just have at least one big,
Okay,
but I don't know.
but not the other one.
I don't know.
All right. And the others you were able to figure out?
I think.
Okay, I'm gonna go with that one.
Oh, wait, you didn't see.
How we going here?
Good.
Would we arrive at?
I think it's C because A is has A dominant. We don't know if it's both, but we know that it has one recessive because of this parent.
Okay.
But we don't know if the dominant came from like this one or this one. Like we know one of them's dominant, but not if both. So that's why I thought.
Okay. And that's the only one that we couldn't hone in on a specific genotype?
I think so.
All right.
Was the question multiple select?
No,
Oh,
it's
okay.
a one answer one. But yeah, it seems logical to me. All right. I'll go check in here on our question. All right. Oops. All right, we got majority responses in here, so give you about 30 seconds to finalize your answer, and we'll take a look. All right, let's check out our first pedigree question. All right, we got pretty strong support on this one. Looks like C, by far, the most common answer. Any ideas on why you would choose C here in this case as being the one we can't figure out? Why not? Yeah.
Because, like, they're not related to the original family.
Okay.
Also, you can't tell by the offspring.
Okay. Two important things there mentioned. So number one, this individual in the pedigree is, the partner of one of the children there in the second generation. So not a direct relationship to most of the family, meaning we don't have a lot of information about her. We know she has a daughter there, but that's about it. So that could, steer you in that direction. But then if you look a little bit more specifically at the situation over there, we have a male here with an X-linked recessive trait. He only has one X chromosome, so it would have to be a recessive allele there. And she would have two X's, and she would have two X's. Because the dad is going to pass on his recessive allele there, the daughter has to have a recessive allele, but she doesn't express the trait, so the other allele must be dominant. So she would have to be a heterozygote. The mom also does not express the trait, so she must have at least one dominant allele, which she passed on to her daughter. But that alone doesn't tell us what the other allele is. It could be homozygous dominant genotype, or she could be a heterozygote, but not really enough information to figure out which one. So C is definitely the one we can't figure out.